having just a single source of income and having to source out your rent, your recurrent subscription bills, your expenses on feeding and others is just like a man having 5 wives and having just a single income. Now that man is going to shrink out and get aged quickly, or even get to welcome back if you're already part of this channel. And on this channel we treat all things business strategies and tips for the effective running of our businesses, growth informations, business ideas, mental. They will be looking at patterns and business ideas and informations you could leverage for the year 2023 to create a balanced financial life. Without no further ado, let's move into the business of today. Now, I know a lot of persons are wondering on how others are able to sustain themselves and live a balanced financial life, especially after the pandemic in 2020. Even during this Christmas period, without less expectations, some persons were also able to spend, and not just spend, but spend lavish during this Christmas. And we are wondering on how these persons are able to sustain this life. Now, it's either they have a high-paying job or businesses, different streams of businesses, or business for them did well the last years, or other sources that may be unknown to us. Now, for those who do not have access to these things or are open to these things, an additional stream of income can come in as an easy way for you and creating this balanced financial life we are talking about. So one of the ways of creating a financial balanced life, or one of the ideas, business ideas you could leverage to create a balanced life for yourself, is having to teach your skill or expertise. Yes, having to teach your skill or expertise. Now, for those who do a 9-to-5 job or others within that line, or for those who are experts at some kind of skill or profession, or you, now the reason why you get a pay daily, or you get a pay weekly, or a check monthly is not because of your amazing customers and clients or your impeccable employer, but because of the amazing skill and value you have to offer. Yes, so aside from having to function directly with these customers, employers, or client of yours, if these skills are teachable, you could set up a system where you get to not just offer the services directly, but to teach others on becoming experts in this field of yours. Now, the reason why this is going to work out is because there are so many others out there who are willing to learn something you're already good at or expert at. Now, if you create an awareness of persons are ready and willing to learn. Now, for those professionals, are like the corporate workers, let's say for those like lawyers and doctors who you cannot basically set up something, or it is too much of an expense to having to set up a firm or a hospital. You can go on platforms as this information, legal information and medical information are things people are always open to get and receive each and every day. So you can set up a platform, an online presence also, where you get to teach daily tips and routines and just on how to effectively run legal matters, medical and health matters and all of that. And then once you get this set up, definitely you have people coming, because these are so much of a necessity. Now, these channels, these platforms get to recognize you, and when you use the particular target, and get to pay you. Yes, but for those who do not like the online presence and who wouldn't want to be part of the online presence and the paparazzi and the whatever it brings, you can also go through the means called as a gateway mentor. Now, having you become a gateway mentor is having you mentor those who have interest in becoming an expert in your field, but want to go through the former process and do not know how to. Now, you agree with me that in this part, the idea or the desire of wanting to become a lawyer or a doctor is of much difficulty. Now, having you set up a process and a system where you teach them the processes, using yours as a gateway on how you got your maybe a scholarship scheme or processing from the start, involved in and proven ways surely is going to work out for them to get into these institutions or to get into this field and become expert like yourself. You can stand in the gap having to charge for a fee. Now you only have to take up this when you're so sure and certain that you can put things in place and in process to get them to the desired result. Alright, so that is that for number one. Now number two is somewhat related to number one, but it's for those who are saying, okay, I do not have a skill, or my profession or job or work is not teachable, so what can I do and where can I come in? Now the thing is that this channel is open to just attending to everybody or coming in for everybody. So if you're in this category, you have no problem at all. Now this is you having to come up as a stage manager. Now I'm going to explain this. We know we have some professions which are not teachable, or because of your business routine and work you can venture into something else, but definitely you want a balanced life and you want to experience this balanced financial life. Now what you will have do, or for those who especially are not teachable, like I say, whose professions are not teachable, you can set up a system where you get to bring these experts together and having them set up and the system running, and then having to stand in as a stage manager to these employees. You get to pay them from the profit or income made. Do you get it? Okay, so now this is just, if I'm to give an example, let me use myself as a police officer, and maybe this may not technically go, but just try pick out what I want to say. And then I'm always out there, my job is not something teachable, so I cannot teach others, or I do not have any skill at all, but there's a savings or a way I can get a loan and money. And most of these experts, due to their wanting to start big or financial incapability to start up or get the equipment they need, you will definitely get these persons to this system with. So having you bring together these experts and set up the system and having them create awareness about the system and get clients and get customers, which is definitely going to happen. You just standing as a state manager, having to do your 9 to 5 or do whatever you were doing before, and still having to get an extra added income from this setup already done. Do you get it? All right, so let's move right into number 3. Before we go into number 3, if you are here and I mentioned like the two I've mentioned, and then you do not find any that suits you yet, I will encourage all of you to just stick to the end of the video, as number 1 may not suit you, but my number 3 and 4 may, or the last one may, or subsequently just subscribe, click on the notification button and like, because with time, I just like the description of the channel says, I am this channel is open to bringing ideas as such, and so you'll be lucky enough to get an idea that suits you within the line. Now number 3 is having you number 3 is having you offer services that pertains to the female gender. Having you offer services that pertains to the female gender. Now the female gender, just like the number of body parts, there's so many numbers of body parts on their body, so is the number of their wants and desires, and these wants and desires this gender will go at any length to satisfy. Now having you set up as a professional in any of this area that satisfy the demands of this gender is just having you set up as a professional makeup artist, as a hairstylist, as a skincare specialist and all of that, be it melanin skin, be it light skin, whatever specialty that falls in line with this gender would definitely sell. Now having the thousands of makeup artists doesn't mean you coming up as one will not sell. You will definitely have someone to offer this service to. Now there's a saying that we have 1,000 of females and just 100 of males and all of that. Now this is not far from the truth. So having you set up and just know your job very well and do your job very well, and definitely you're going to sell out and get through to the bag through this. This is a sure one, guys. This is a sure one. This set of people are the persons that when people are complaining in January or complaining at any season that there is no money, you see them having to throw lavish parties during their birthdays, during one occasion or the other, wanting to looking good and all of that. So definitely this is going to sell, and this is both for male and females. Some females preferable will go to male hairstylists and makeup artists and all of that than going to the female ones. So it's just generally for everyone. Number 4 is having to set up a children or adult care system. Now, due to the norm of bad news from having house helps and nannies during the past years, people would prefer to have an official system that is well coordinated, organized, and accountable. Now, this is so because having these children here and knowing that this is a business, a running business, and these business owners or you as a business owner will want to run it coordinated, want to run it organized, and want to do all in your possible best to make sure it goes right, because if it doesn't, you will be held accountable. Now, these parents, busy parents, high paying big businesses that hold on to so many of these parents, or one thing or the other, because of this issue, they would like to have their parents, their aged parents, or their children being taken care of in a system that is more organized. Like I said, would definitely buy into this idea, because definitely it's something more reliable for them and give them peace and ease of mind having to settle with the other areas or meaningful aspects of their life, like their business, career, and others. Now, unlike the local system of getting a house help or a nanny, although you have some systems which is set up to bring in nannies or house help and the others for you, but these daycares or day routine system are systems that are open on a daily, or you can keep your children there daily, weekly, or what have you, and these systems have different running and organized system, and so your children are being kept under care, and whatever happens the system will be held accountable and all of that. So for none of these issues arising, they will make sure they do their possible best, or you make sure you do your possible best if you're going to run this system, in making that this system prevail. And I am telling you that definitely they are going to buy into this idea. Now, most of this system, you have a building or something down that these children or each persons are being taken to for a day or for a week or for a number of times. These guardians are out of town or off for meetings and career plannings and all of that, and so this is definitely a good one. Number 5 is something I call the relay pay. Now, this relay pay is just having you stand in as an affiliate, something like an affiliate. Now, let me break this down. It is someone that's like a middleman that go in between manufacturer to the consumer, having to or relay a goods or market something to the consumer, and then it's being given a commission for the job done. It's having you meet up with the manufacturer or a producer and have them market their goods and get a commission for maybe per goods marketed or per goods sold and all of that. Or you can just have to deliberate with these producers or manufacturers and then get these goods, add the charge on it, which is an overcharge, and sell it at this price with the overcharge as your profit. Now, the thing with this kind of business idea is that there must have been a level of relationship and trust already built, and that is why quality relationship is very important. And that is why, apart from quality relationship, which is honesty must be involved, very necessary. So once you know you have built this relationship with them, and then there is no capital to really kick up outside of yours, you can go to these producers, go to these manufacturers, go to these business owners, have you deliberate with them. This number is having to meet up necessity demand. Okay, like of last week during the Christmas period or so, 2 project work came in where I was asked to do a project work on different courses that were not my field. Now, these are things we can go into doing research and having them done. Alright, and the pay for such jobs are like 70 and above. The minimum that could be done, you could charge for some jobs could be 50, and that is if you decide. Now, what I am trying to say is that so many persons may be tied up busy, so busy, or freak at some things, and these things, having you meet up these demands can stand in as a source of income for you. Now, demands like some persons who cannot afford laundry machines may not like washing clothes, freak at washing clothes. There are some persons who freaks at having to cook, and so having you meet the demands of setting up a laundry system or doing a weekend cook servicing kind of thing, and so many others within the line, and some persons having to do the project work like I mentioned earlier, and some persons that freaks at subjects such as mathematics and others, having you just even setting up as someone that does assignment. Yours is just to do assignment or do project. For those in the university, you see some persons paying to get assignments done, paying to get some persons to copy out notes for them, or paying to get project work done like I mentioned earlier, and all of that. So all within this line and necessity that can be met for a charge. And as you stage up yourself to say, okay, creating awareness, this is what I do, and people get to know you. Not one is coming, not two is coming. There are other persons who also may freak at these things, or are busy, or have other things doing, and may not be able to do these things. And you're getting referral, you're getting the message passed as far as you're doing your job very well. So that is that about this. Stay growing, stay focused, and stay